Every now and again, the cosmos produces a moment that is so magical, so unifying, it transcends everything. It transcends race, religion, gender, politics.
This is one of those moments.
Viva Frei, Montreal litigator turned YouTuber with Winston the Westie here in the car. If you haven't seen this video yet, you absolutely have to, and you in fact will in about 30 seconds. It is one of those magical, hilarious videos that is not only hilarious despite not making anyone look bad, it is hilarious and makes everyone look good. The context is self-explanatory. It was a Zoom meeting for something of a court hearing in Texas, presided over by a judge and being attended by 3 lawyers. That is, of course, until one of the lawyers accidentally showed up as a cat, and if you don't know what I mean, you will right now.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next,
there is so much going on in this video that it just blows the mind, and we're going to have to break it down frame by frame and square by square because each square is its own work of art. But starting with the top left square, which says that you can't reproduce this video under penalty of contempt and a potential fine, let's just address that right off the bat. And I think Winston is asleep, so I'm going to put him down here. 394th District Court of Texas live stream. Recording of this hearing or live stream is prohibited. Violation may constitute contempt of court and result in a fine of up to $500 and a jail term of up to 180 days. Now, for those of you who don't know, contempt of court is actually a quasi-criminal proceeding that can, in fact, land you in jail. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to put this video on pause and go call my criminal lawyer.
Daddy, are you going to jail?
We'll see, son. We'll see.
And although a lot of court hearings are now done by Zoom given the whole COVID situation, it doesn't mean that they are free to be reproduced on the internet. This question actually came up, I think it was in the Judge Emmett Sullivan Michael Flynn hearing, where there were some warnings being issued for people who were reproducing portions of that hearing on social media. So in theory, you should be cautious before reproducing a Zoom court hearing, even if you find it on the internet, because it could qualify as contempt of court if you're not allowed reproducing the hearing. But in this case, we actually have the permission of the judge. And this is part 1 of what I mean when I say that everybody ends up coming out of this situation looking good. Typically, when you find a video as hilarious as this, it comes at the expense of one of the players. In some sense, virtually all humor comes at the expense of somebody, even going back to the basics, slipping on a banana peel and falling on your butt, that comes at the expense of the guy who hurt his butt. And one of the things that makes this entire video so magical is that it doesn't come at the expense of everybody, and everybody in the video ends up looking good. Starting with the judge, who tweeted as follows. Judge Roy Ferguson at Judge Ferguson TX. Important Zoom tip. If a child used your computer, before you join a virtual hearing, check the Zoom video options to be sure filters are off. This kitten just made a formal announcement on a case in the 394th. Sound on. So first things first, any risk of contempt for unlawful reproduction of a court hearing is officially off the table now that the judge himself is the one who reproduced the hearing on social media. The judge does it with a good dose of humor coupled with an actual tip that people should keep in mind before going on a Zoom call. A good dose of humor, an actual useful tip coupled with a warning not to make fun of the people involved. These fun moments are a byproduct of the legal profession's dedication to ensuring that the justice system continues to function in these tough times. Everyone involved handled it with dignity, and the filtered lawyer showed incredible grace. True professionalism all around. And in a third tweet, the judge says the following. Media outlets, you may use the video. It was recorded during a virtual hearing in the 394th District Court of Texas and released for educational purposes. It is crucial that this not be used to mock the lawyers, but instead to exemplify the legal community's dedication to the cause of justice. A touch of humor coupled with an actual pro tip and a warning not to make fun of the lawyers involved. And what I find most amazing is that the judge looks a lot like Tony Stark. All right, and with that said, let's break down this video screen by screen because what is happening in each of the screens is pure magic.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings.
So for those of you who may not know how filters work, typically there is a filter that will automatically detect a face and then overlay over the face, leaving certain spots open, like the mouth and the eyes, so the filter is dynamic and not just a static image over somebody's face. So you can see that when the lawyer realizes that he has a filter over his face, you are seeing his actual eye movement, which means that you are seeing his eye movement shoot down to the left or shoot down wherever to try to find a solution to this very embarrassing problem.
Take a
We're
look.
trying to, can you hear me, Judge?
And he says, "Can you hear me, Judge?" Because not everybody appreciates that when this filter is over your face, you can still be heard and there still is some movement, but you just can't be seen in your original form. And I'm not saying any of this to make fun of the lawyer for not being technologically savvy. I probably would have had the same problem and would have ended up just closing my computer. But being the steadfast professional that this lawyer is, he says, "I'm prepared to continue as is," and how glorious would that have been?
I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
"I'm here live, I'm not a cat" might be the most glorious thing any lawyer has ever said to a judge in the history of humankind. But it is not just Mr. Ponton Esquire's reaction in this that is pure gold. It is also the reaction of his colleagues, and we're going to start with the guy on the bottom left, Mr. Bauer. Here, Mr. Bauer joins what he thinks is going to be an ordinary Zoom meeting with a lawyer and a judge, but he quickly realizes this is something special, so much to the point where he can't believe his own eyes that he actually has to put on his glasses. He is professional, he doesn't overreact, he doesn't laugh, and he doesn't ostracize the kitten lawyer colleague that he's now looking at, but he so cannot believe his eyes that he actually physically has to put on his glasses. Moving on to his colleague on the top, Mr. Phillips Esquire. Now he has something of a better poker face. I would call this guy the Doyle Brunson of the cat Zoom call. Mr. Phillips looks like he has seen some things in his days, and this is just another day at the office, but even he has his limits, and even he has to crack a smile when the lawyer says, "I am not a cat."
I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I mean, a hardened lawyer, a man who looks like he has seen some things in his day, the Doyle Brunson of the cat Zoom call, even has his limits and has to crack a smile when the lawyer says,
I am not a cat.
We are living through some very difficult times, through some very divisive times, through some very tribalist times, and it is just magical and glorious and awesome to see a moment like this that is absolutely hilarious and yet celebrates the goodness of everyone involved. It celebrates not only the goodness in all, but the dedication of some that they are willing to proceed, even if it means proceeding as a cat.
Tonsils, look out!
And with that, it looks like Winston might need a nap on a more comfortable setting than my lap. So if you like my videos, you like my content, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment in the comment section below because it feeds the algorithm. If you want to support the channel, all of these support links are in the pinned comment. We've got PayPal, Patreon, subscribe to our YouTube membership. Robert Barnes and I have a page on locals. It is called vivabarneslaw.locals.com. But more important than any of that, take care of yourselves, check in on friends and family. Remember that we are all human and we should all show kindness and respect to each other. And now you know your vlog. Peace out.